This is the Yankees POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the New York Yankees. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
All right, the Yankees did what they needed to do. They extended the season. That means there'll be a decisive wild card game number 3. Yanks beat the Red Sox 4-3 in game number 2. How about Austin Wells? The go-ahead RBI single in the 8th inning proved to be the game winner. Meanwhile, Carlos Rodon with the first 6 handed it off to high-leverage relievers who get the job done. Fernando Cruz in the 7th, Devin Williams in the 8th, and, of course, David Bednar in the 9th. They all throw a scoreless inning, and again, 4-3 the final score. As we said, it sets up a winner-take-all. Tomorrow, Game 3, the winner moves on to face Toronto. The loser goes home. Hello, everybody. I'm Jay Berman. If you're a New Yorker, you might recognize my work. I've spent more than 2 decades in the biz, everything from TV to web to radio. Glad to have you aboard. You can follow me on X as well, at Jay Berman, Jayberman. Let's do it. Welcome to the Locked On Yankees POSTCAST, both on the Locked On Yankees YouTube channel and the Locked On Yankees podcast feed. The POSTCAST gives you a place to chat after every game. We're part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day.
This is what you'll be talking about.
All right, so as expected, turned out to be a wild game. Yanks had an early lead. They coughed up. They took the lead back, coughed it up. They took the lead back and finally held on. Again, Yanks had a 2-0 lead in the first, 2-2 after 3. 3-2 after 5, 3-3 after 6, 4-3 after 8. There you go. Again, as the Yankees win it 4-3. Huge hit from Austin Wells, but the speed from Jazz Chisholm rounding second, obviously off at the crack of the bat and was running. So from first to home relatively quickly. And again, a great slide at home plate as well. The huge hit from Austin Wells. Remember, Wells had 2 hits on the night, so he's looked pretty good so far. Again, the Yanks are now 2-9 in their last 11 postseason games against the Red Sox. We told you the Yanks got off to a fast start. Ben Rice, the very first pitch he sees, and of course, as soon as he hits the home run, everyone's saying he should have played last night. Well, to be fair, that's sort of looking ahead and looking behind at the same time. Can't be done. So we'll put last night behind us and accept the fact that Ben Rice is good and will probably be in the lineup regardless of who the starting pitcher is moving forward. Now, Rice, another first inning home run for the Yankees. As we said, they set a major league record for 50 in the first inning this year. No team has ever hit 50 home runs in a first inning. The Yanks did it this year, and of course, they picked up right where they left off. Ben Rice, the very first pitch he sees in the playoffs, it's out of here. And just like that, it's 2-0 Yankees off Brayan Bello and the Red Sox. Speaking of Rice, he's the first Yankee to homer in his first career postseason at bat since Shane Spencer in ALDS Game 2 of 1998. So it's been a while, nearly 30 years. Amazing stuff from Ben Rice. Now, as for Carlos Rodon, things were going swimmingly, at least through the first 5. Things got a little difficult in the 6th. Rodon allowed his 3rd run. Now, Boone goes out to the mound in the 6th inning. You figure he's at least thinking about taking out Rodon. He gives him the old Booney pep talk. Rodon gets out of it. However, the very next inning, the 7th inning, they allow Rodon to start the frame. And despite the fact that the Red Sox did not score again, that was a mistake because 8 straight balls to start the 7th inning for Rodon. Those were the last 8 pitches he threw. Now, again, Fernando Cruz gets out of the jam. so it didn't hurt the Yankees. But again, you could tell that Rodon was toast after 6. Now, he only threw 91 pitches. So obviously, you can understand why Boone wanted to push him as far as he could, especially having used several relievers last night. But as we said, Cruz comes on to finish off the 7th, gets out of the jam without allowing a run. Devin Williams, who actually gets the win, pitches the 8th inning. David Bednar pitches the 9th inning, striking out 2, and he earns the save. Of course, if you recall, Bednar gave up the run last night, which proved to be a huge insurance run for the Red Sox. Regardless, we're going to a game 3. Now, as we said for Rodon, by the way, there was one error tonight. It was the Rodon throwing error. It needs to be pointed out because, interesting stat, wrote it down. Rodon's error in the 3rd inning, which of course helped the Red Sox score runs, was his first error in any game in almost 5 years. July of 2021. Amazing stat. But again, Rodon doing what he needed to do. Believe it or not, a quality start. 6 innings, 3 earned, 6 Ks. Did allow the home run to Trevor Story. As for the lineup, 2 hits apiece for Judge, Rice, and Wells. Yanks banged out 10 hits tonight. And again, they win it 4-3. As for Brayan Bello, you know how good he's been against the Yankees in the regular season. Really good. I was surprised he was yanked after 2 1/3 through just 28 pitches. Now, it turned out to work because Justin Wilson was into and out of trouble when they yanked Bello. Wilson actually came in and got 5 outs, so kudos to him. Slayton gives up a run, and then obviously Whitlock, who was dead tired at the end. Perhaps Cora, who stuck with Crochet last night, rightfully so. Got to point out the good. Well, maybe he stuck with Garrett Whitlock just a little bit too long tonight. Whitlock, an inning and 2/3, 3 hits, a run, 2 walks, 3 Ks through 47 pitches, which obviously means 2 things. One, he was trying to get as most out of Whitlock as he could tonight, obviously hoping that there wouldn't be a tomorrow. Well, now there is a tomorrow, and part 2 of that is the fact that Whitlock's not going to be available to the Red Sox after throwing nearly 50 pitches in less than 2 innings tonight. All right, we will take a quick break, have some things to get to. We have to do the turning point and the player of the game, and we'll get you set for game number 3. All right, there's nothing like catching a baseball game live. The energy, the crowd, the chance to see your team in person, but actually getting tickets, well, that's the tough part. Queues, login screens, surprise fees. It takes all of the fun out of it. That's why I use Game Time, the app that gives the advantage back to fans. Game Time is fast, easy, and backed by the Game Time guarantee. You'll always get 1,000% authentic tickets delivered on time and at the best price. Plus, all fees are included, so the price you see is the price you pay. The app made it super simple. I could even see the exact view from my seat before buying. I love zone deals, too. They're pretty good. Pick the section, Game Time picks the seats, and you save big. Honestly, it's faster, cheaper, and less stressful than any other way I've bought tickets. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, promo code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download Game Time today. All right, most people can't name all their financial accounts or even what they're worth, whether it's 401ks, properties, or investments. And when you don't have the full picture, you can't end up leaving, or you can end up leaving money on the table. That's why there's Monarch Money. It's an all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or your phone. Monarch does the heavy lifting for you. You can link all your accounts in minutes, see clear data visuals, get smart categorization of your spending, and finally feel in control of your money without ever touching a spreadsheet. I linked all my accounts to Monarch and immediately spotted a few subscriptions I wasn't even using. Canceling those alone saved me money every month. Monarch makes it simple to review my finances with my partner. We can both see budgets, goals, and spending activity in one place. Don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code LOCKEDONMLB. All right, last but not least, FanDuel. The NFL season is here, and FanDuel is making sure you're ready for kickoff with a can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. I love using FanDuel because it fits however you like to bet. Player props, building a same-game parlay, or even jumping in live as the action unfolds. It makes every game more exciting, whether you're watching your team or just keeping an eye on your fantasy lineup, which we all do. It's quick, easy, and the best way to add a little more energy to Sundays. So are you ready to play? Download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet. All right, we are back, and this one is pretty easy, but we got to do it.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
All right, obviously it's Austin Wells' go-ahead hit in the 8th inning off Garrett Whitlock, who was mowing him down, and also worthy of note, Whitlock, the first run he's allowed in 14 games. He has been really good. I understand down the stretch of the season, you're focusing in on your team. You're watching the scoreboard, but you're focusing in on your team. We know all about Aroldis Chapman. We know all about Garrett Crochet. But did you know Garrett Whitlock has been a huge piece of the Red Sox puzzle, and he failed tonight, or at least he faltered because he threw 47 pitches, inning and 2/3, 3 hits, a run, 2 walks, 3 Ks, and coughs up the tie, if you will. 4-3 the final score. So that's your turning point, which of course leads us to this.
This is the Locked On Player of the Game.
And much like the turning point of the game featured in Austin Wells' hit, well, he is the player of the game for that very hit. Wells, his first career postseason hit that gave his team a lead. Remember, he played a lot last year in the postseason all the way into the World Series, and that's obviously where the Yankees would like to get back to. So again, turning point, the Wells single in the 8th inning. Player of the game, Austin Wells as well. Now, we need to set you up for game 3. We know, or we definitely know who's pitching for the Yankees, or at least starting for the Yankees. That's Cam Schlittler, who, of course, will be making his playoff debut for the Yankees. Now, the same could be said for the Red Sox, who, according to reports, are also going to start a rookie tomorrow. Connolly Early, the lefty, will at least start the game for the Red Sox. And remember, this is not your typical regular season game where you try and push your starter as long as you can. This is all hands on deck, just like we saw tonight when Bello threw 28 pitches against the team he had owned, and he got the hook. So, again, all hands on deck, and you just don't know. At any point in time, a manager can make any type of move. Now, we talked about Aaron Boone last night taking out Max Fried perhaps too early. Well, tonight, Alex Cora, well, he may have left his reliever in too long, and that was Garrett Whitlock. To be fair, he used his high leverage guys as well. Wilson, Slayton, Matz, Kelly, Whitlock, and Tolley, they all pitched. Really, the only guy, at least the high leverage guys out of the bullpen for Boston that didn't pitch tonight is Aroldis Chapman, and he was up and down twice. Now, obviously that doesn't count as an appearance, but he threw the ball and got warm twice. So we'll see how that affects tomorrow's usage of Aroldis Chapman, if you will. All right, thanks for making Locked On Yankees your first listen every single day. For your second listen, find the all-night love, the all-new Locked On MLB Game Night. Every game, every night until a World Series champion is crowned. Get local analysis on a national scale. Find MLB Game Night on Locked On and MLB on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. Also want to mention our partners in crime at Locked On Yankees, Stacey Goutsoulias and Brian McKeon. Remember, Locked On Yankees, it's all theirs. They do a great job, so follow, subscribe, and enjoy. Yankees win, stave off elimination. They'll face elimination again tomorrow. We'll be with you immediately following Game 3. Again, 4-3 the final score. Yanks live to fight another day. Either the Red Sox or the Yankees are going to Toronto. Hopefully it's the Yankees, but we'll find out tomorrow night. I'm Jay Berman. Have a great night, everyone.